The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
With so many people living longer, the fear of outliving your money becomes a reality for many of us. Will I be a financial burden? Will I outlive my money? How will I be remembered? My name is Neil Himmelstein, president of Main Street Planning Group. Please contact me by visiting mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. I will introduce you to strategies that will guarantee you will not outlive your money, that can guarantee you will not be a burden on your loved ones. Through a collaborative approach, we will uncover solutions that offer tax-efficient strategies, lifetime income, and legacy planning, choice, organization, direction, and education. That is the code we stand behind. Contact mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. And listen to me every Friday at 3 p.m. as I host the Main Street Code for Financial Success, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein, and the best way to get hold of me is 631-647-4694. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. When we talk about our code, we talk about choice, organization, direction, and education, and we help hundreds of advisors across the United States, CPAs, attorneys, and clients with their insurance needs and financial planning, and we help put the right solutions for you. We're solutions providers. That's what we do. Most of the time it's regarding insurance issues, but many times it involves legal, it involves accounting, it involves investing, and doing it the right ways, whether it be tax efficient or tax savings. These are the types of things we get involved in on a daily basis. Today I want to talk about saving for retirement and saving post-retirement, in retirement. You know, I run across people every day, particularly a lot of salespeople. They may be, and business people, and maybe they're making more money, but they're not saving any. It's like, well, I'm just paying my bills. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. I know people making $1 million a year that don't save any money. It's amazing to me. And why is that? Well, the first biggest hurdle in saving is looking at your credit and looking at what you're doing. And for those of you that have credit card debt, I can't stress enough that that's the first thing we look at, is if you have credit card debt and you're keeping balances, that's a big problem, okay? Because that's weighing you down, and it's a continual spiral. Even if you go and you see something, oh, I'm going to get a 30% discount if I buy that TV today, but I won't have to pay in a year, and you throw it on credit, that can be so detrimental to you, because when you do pay that off and you're borrowing, let's say you throw it on a credit card and you don't have a year to pay it off, even if you do. Okay, I put it on my credit card and I got a 30% discount. Well, if I'm paying 30% interest on that TV and I'm paying it every month, all I'm doing is paying interest for years. You didn't get a savings. All you did was create more pain for yourself. If you can't afford to buy it, unless it's a necessity, please don't put it on credit. And all these great deals are waiting a year. Well, a year from now, are you going to have the money to pay that off? Maybe, maybe not. And if not, you're going to put yourself in a credit spiral. So the first thing we look at is we look at your credit, okay? And look at your own credit and look where you're paying interest rate. And have a strategy, if you do have bad credit or credit cards, have a strategy for paying them down or paying them off before you go and invest in anything. Yes, you want to pay yourself first, but look at what you're paying in interest and see if you can't reduce it somehow. Let's say you're in a horrible situation where you have a lot of credit card debt. Well, one of the strategies I like to use is if it's $100 a month for me to pay that credit card, I'm going to put a plan in to pay $200. And I'm going to have it come out of my account every month so I don't have to look at it. I overpay every credit card. I tell everybody, overpay it, because Otherwise, you're just paying interest, and that interest compounds, and it compounds negatively. Even if you see this great investment where you make 10%, if you're paying 30% interest to make 10%, something's really wrong. You got to get rid of that credit first. That's what's costing you. That's costing you more than any investment you could make. Is these credit cards are killing you. So you got to get your credit cards under control. That's number one. Now, I understand you have a mortgage. Maybe you have a car loan. But let's look at your car loans. So my first advice is, let's say we have credit card debt. Overpay it. Have a strategy to pay that credit card debt down or off. Okay? Particularly your high credit rates. Overpay it or get rid of it. Okay? Pay off your loans. You can't have these things hanging over your head because they're going to cause a lot of stress and they're only going to compound and get worse. Okay, have a strategy to pay them down. And if you need a credit counselor, reach out to a credit counselor. There's a lot of free credit services out there. You really need to get your credit under control. Now you go and you buy a new car. Okay, maybe you have good credit. And you go to the dealer and maybe you're paying 7.5%. Whatever the dealer's deal is, the dealer always makes 2% on that credit rate. You can refinance your car loan. People don't realize, I had this discussion with my kids. Oh, I can refinance my car loan? Yes, you can refinance your car loan. You're not set in that rate you buy. So look at what rate you're paying, and maybe you can save $200 a month just by refinancing your car loan. Maybe you can save $100 a month by refinancing your debt, by restructuring your debt, by getting a personal loan that pay lower interest than these credit cards. You got to get rid of these credit cards first. You got to look at your car loan, see if you can do that. Then look at all these accounts that you're paying for, especially, I look at my kids and they got all kinds of different, including me. Okay, I have streaming accounts. Okay, I have this app, that app, this app. All of a sudden, you're paying $20 a month for this, $30 a month for this. You forget that you're paying for these things. They're coming out of your checking account or your savings account every month. Look at your statements of your savings and checking accounts on all your bank accounts and see if there's a monthly charge of something you're not using. Please get rid of that. Maybe there's another $200 a month. Maybe your cable bill is too high and maybe you should be using another service. Or you just should be using streaming. Look at these numbers. All of a sudden, you got 30, 40, 50. When you add everything up, if you can save $400 or $500 a month, that's huge. Now what do? Immediately invest in yourself. Take that $400 or $500 a month or $300 a month and all those savings, and let's say you're working for somebody and you're not participating in their 401k or Roth 401k, maybe you want to have that come out of your check every month or every other week whenever you get paid, so that goes into your savings. That's how you do it. You find the money, then you put it to work. And you put it to work by having it come out of your account every freaking month and don't look at it. If you got to pay off credit cards, set it up so that everything's on automatic. Use AI and the computers to help you, not take from you, but save for you, not take away from you. Save for you, not take away from you. That's my message for the day. Your credit is important. You've got to get your credit cards under control or eliminate them and put the money in your pocket so that you can save. Now, let's say you don't have a plan. Well, we can help you structure a plan if you have a company, or we can also, you can put the money every month into a life insurance contract or an annuity contract. There are specific annuities that we call flexible payment annuities that you can put in money every month and you have it come out of your account so you're not looking at it. All of a sudden, you put $400 or $500 in your account when you're 40, you're going to have over $1 million when you're 65 years old. Wow. Just by limiting the amount of monthly charges that you're getting, whether it's interest charges or charges for streaming things or various things or apps you have on your phone or games you're playing, or all these little things add up to a lot of money. And you say, why am I not saving money? This is why. You can do this even if you're not working and you're in retirement. There are various savings techniques, and the biggest way to save is to have it put away out of your account every month. Just like you have things coming out every month to pay people, every month you want to pay yourself, not other people, not other companies. Pay yourself. And if you're paying interest every month, that money just goes to nowhere. So that's lost savings. You can't invest until you save. You're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. I can be reached at 631-647-4694. Thank you. We'll be right back after a commercial. Welcome back to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. If you were here during our first half of the show, we talked about saving for retirement and saving even post-retirement by minimizing your outgoing expenses. Hey, the best way to save money is to minimize your expenses and put the money back into your savings, but do it so unpurposefully by having it come out of your account automatically, whether it's in a retirement program, in a life insurance contract, or an annuity contract. But first, look at where you can save money every month in interest or other expenses that you don't need to. Look at your car loan. Maybe you need to refinance it. Your mortgages, your car loan, specifically your credit. You want to look at your credit and get it under control. If you have a lot of credit card debt, which is evil debt, it's just evil. That's all I can say. And the incentives out there are wonderful. Now, if you need to build credit, one of the ways that I taught my kids to build credit, and I didn't even realize it. My kids are now, 36 and 35. My daughter told me this is how she did it, which I must have told her at one point. I never realized it. But early on, we got her an account, and she got a debit card with her account, which had a little credit card. And whenever she buys something, she buys it on her debit card. She uses the credit, gets the incentives, whether it's 1.5%, whatever they give her, and then she immediately pays it off with her savings account or checking account. So she's really buying it on credit and paying it right away. And her credit score has zoomed. And her fiance didn't know that strategy, and she was like, wow, why is your credit so good and mine not so good? Well, this is one of the things I've been doing for, since I was 20 years old. And now she has fantastic credit. And that's how she does it. It's a great little strategy, which I didn't even teach her. I don't think she gave me credit for it, so I'll take it. But anyhow, that's one of the ways you can build credit. Now, we talked about how to save money and how to put money away. That's important. Now, here we are in retirement, okay? And now we've done a good job. We've saved. Maybe we have some still bad debt and things we can save more, which is great. How do we save in retirement? Well, we can still save in retirement. We're wasting money doing various things. Apps I mentioned, things we don't necessarily need that we're throwing on credit, which will end up hurting us in the future. Listen, if you need a new boiler, you got to buy a new boiler. If you need a TV, do I really need a new TV today? Can I wait a month until I can afford to buy it? Yes. Is that 30% sale worth putting on a credit card? Absolutely not if you don't need it. Absolutely do not put yourself in a hole. That's the credit card doom that we want to avoid. If you don't need it, don't buy it, okay? Unless you have the money for it. If you want to put it on credit, have a plan on paying it off very quickly. Do not prolong your credit. If you have credit right now and it's bad debt, you have to find a plan to pay it off ahead of time. You can't pay the minimum. The minimum will kill you, and it will only compound into further credit issues. That's my message for today. Now, we're in retirement, and we've done a great job. And a lot of our money is wrapped up in our IRA or 401k, and we're afraid to touch it. Why are we afraid to touch that? And why do the accountants keep telling us, oh, no, don't touch that money, don't touch that money? Because you're going to have to pay taxes on that money because you've already deducted while you were saving that money, which was great while you were saving the money. But now you're in retirement, and that's the first money that the accountants are telling you, oh, no, postpone that money, postpone that money. Well, that money was there for your retirement. It is the worst money to leave to your children. So if that's the money you're leaving to your children, you're going to put them in a tax hell. Okay? This is for your spending. So what I advocate for is to develop a spending plan. You call it a budget. I like it a spending plan because I don't like the word budget. Budget says I'm going to be constricted to what I spend. No, I want a spending plan. I want to enjoy my retirement. But let's have a strategy for using that money. So oftentimes, we'll create a payment stream out of your retirement money, which, by the way, that's what an annuity is, and that's what a pension is. A pension is really an annuity, and so is Social Security. It's a payment stream that you can't outlive. So let's look at your retirement money as a way of paying yourself and stretching out the tax burden rather than waiting until you're 80 years old and you've built up $1 million, but it's all taxable and I don't want to touch that money, but I don't want to enjoy life either because I want to leave that to my kids. Well, guess what? Not a good strategy. Use it. Enjoy it. Please. Let's develop a strategy so that you can have that money. And if you really want to leave that money to your kids, the best way to leave it to them is in a tax-free account and one that's not going to hurt them in their tax world by buying life insurance. So we create a spending strategy for some of that retirement money. And if we have extra money, we can throw it into life insurance for our children or our spouse or for our legacy. Or we could use that to buy an annuity to create further wealth down the road. But, the main thing is we want to be tax efficient, and buying an annuity, yes, will defer our taxes, but it'll put us in the same tax world. So we want to spend that money, the taxable money, and stretch that tax burden out over our lifetime as opposed to waiting to when we need that money. Oh my goodness, I need a new boiler. I got to come up with $20,000. Let me take it from my retirement account. Oh geez, I paid $6,000 in taxes at the end of the year because I used my retirement account to pay for my boiler. That's not the way to do things. You create an income stream for yourself. If you have extra money, you save it. There's various ways of saving it. But that's what we need to do. Get rid of your credit, save the money. Don't give your money away to other people. Put it in your own pocket. That's the message for the day. Put it in your own pocket. You need to save and you need to invest wisely. So tax efficiently. Annuities are a great tax efficient vehicle to either create an income stream or to delay that income stream for a later part of your lifetime. That's what they're for. Life insurance, you can do the same thing, only you can take money out tax-free. Tax-free. Wouldn't it be great to have $1 million tax-free I can take out when I want to take it out? Wouldn't it be great when you're younger to have another envelope rather than waiting to take your 401k or IRA money and having to pay taxes on it? If you're 60 or 70 or 80, wouldn't you like to tell your children now, if there was a way that you could have $1 million when you're my age, or $2 million or $5 million, but guess what? You won't have to pay taxes on it. You can use it when you want. Life insurance, Roth IRAs, that's the way to do it. I'm so big on Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks because it does the same thing that life insurance does. You could take it out tax-free down the road as opposed to paying taxes on it. What a great bucket to have. What I like about the life insurance component is, guess what? It gives me extra leverage for my family that the Roth doesn't do. It also allows me to put flexible contributions in that the Roth doesn't do, and I could put unlimited contributions. So I like to do both. If I can do both, I do both. I like to have as many envelopes as I have at retirement. You know, when people pay bills, they have two methods. I call it the old notebook method, where they write everything down. I know a lot of people use an envelope method. They get a bill from here, they get a bill from there. Nowadays, a lot of things are electronic, but people used to have envelopes. But I like to have envelopes that I have of buckets of money that I can take. I got my taxable bucket, my taxable envelope. I've got my tax-free envelope. Isn't it nice to have multiple envelopes where I can pay bills from? Do I want to pay something out of my taxable envelope or my tax-free envelope? Who knows? I'd like the flexibility of being able to do both. You've been listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. I'm here every Friday at 3 o'clock, and I can be reached at 631-647-4694. If you miss an episode, you can always catch me on Spotify or Apple, or go to my website, themainstreetcode.com, and you can catch all my past episodes on my YouTube channel, and I really look forward to talking to you. Have a great day.
The views